I've never failed a single test in my life. Wait, can I tell you guys a story, please? I just got reminded of something. Did I already tell you this story, maybe? Okay. So, back in, I don't remember how old I was. It was very long ago, right? And it has to do with, like, tests, like, school tests, right? You can get accommodation in Norwegian schools, in which it's like, if you have, things like ADHD, like I do, you can take your tests in a separate room, just alone, just so you don't have to, like, get distracted by other people just, like, tapping their foot or just sitting there or whatever. So I would do that, just to get some peace and quiet, you know? And so there was one time I had a test. I think I was maybe 14 or 15. So we're talking young Misma. We're talking very young Misma. So, I can't even imagine looking back at myself being 14. Young Misma doesn't seem real. Can you imagine? Right. And I'm sat there. And then what test was it? What's it called? So, social studies. There you go. My bad. Social studies. Right? And then I get into the room. And as soon as I'm handed the paper with the test, in that room there was nothing but a desk, 2 chairs, and a shelf. Now this shelf is usually completely empty. But when the teacher left the room and closed the door, I look at the shelf and there's a book there. One book. A social studies book. Textbook. I look at my test. I look at the book. I go. And here's the thing. I didn't even need to cheat. I really didn't. I've never failed a test in my life. I was like, this was, if anything, this was very impulsive. I was just like, oh, I have the option to. It's like you get a bit more cooler option in a game. You choose that one, you know? So, I didn't need to. I really didn't, because there was no way I was gonna fail at all. But I mentioned this before. Oh yeah, I might have said it. But, I'm gonna say it again. So I grabbed the book. The teacher is in the other room with all the other students as well, so this is the worst. And I pull it up. I open it. And then I'm like halfway done. Door opens. Teacher is about to check on me. I don't even close the book. I don't even get startled or anything. I go straight into, I'm going to gaslight you. I sit. I look up at the teacher as if they had disrupted me, you know? I'm thinking reverse psychology here. I look up. I go, what's wrong? What's wrong? They look at me disappointed. They're like, and I'm like, huh? Like, wait, is the time over? What's going on? You know? And then they're pointing at my book. They're like, really? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you actually talking about? And they're like, you're not supposed to be using a book. I'm like, then why the fuck is there a book there? Why the fuck did you put a singular book here on social studies if it was not meant as a source to do your social studies test? That's stupid. And then they're like, yeah, okay, I see how you'd see it that way, but that's not the case. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's just not fair to me, is it? You should have told me. If anything, you know what? Fine. I'll retake another test. Just make another one. I'll retake it. It's fine. And then I act annoyed that she had inconvenienced me. They're like, yeah, no. Okay. All right. You can take another test, next week or later this week, something like that. And I was just like, all right. Okay. So I didn't have to do the test at the time. Yes, so I went straight into gaslight, reverse psychology. How dare you disrupt me?
My fellow brothers, in the face of our common dangers, in this winter of our hardship, remember these timeless words, as we can.